All right, we are back. Hello. Let's see. Let's get that set. All right, so next step. If I'm using my watercolor rules, remember I got to follow the rules. They are light to dark, back to front, general to specific, and keep it transparent. So I did my light. I did this background first with a little bit of a graded darker edge in the corner. And now my next lightest value, one that's slightly darker, is going to be these hills back here. So that's my next one. I always work light to dark, that one wins, and back to front. So that one's next closest to the back, makes sense. So I want to add, I'm going to do a graded wash for that hill in the back, or those mountains, whatever you want to call it. But I want to set that edge, and I need it to be a little bit darker than what's there. So this is mostly dry. Still feels a little damp to the touch, but mostly dry. So I'm going to come in. Looks like it goes down like a little bit of a bump, and then up and over. Now I didn't get it exactly, and that's okay. Just kind of getting it, close. There we go. And then I'm going to take a little bit more water. A little bit, not too much. And I'm going to fade this out so that I can kind of blend the trees in front of it. Come on, water. There we go. Now it's pretty well faded out. A little bit more on my brush here. Trying to be careful not to add too much so that it doesn't take too long to dry for that next layer. But I can get it in there and build that up. There we go. So that's enough because this is going to get covered up by other things in front of it. So as I'm doing this, I've got the light background. Now I have the hill. So my next layer is going to be this layer of trees. So now I'm working general to specific too. So now they're starting to get a little more specific. I need to get these trees in here with some actual detail. So this one that I've started, I can start to see a little bit of their detail there, and I'm going to do one a little bit more, and then it's going to get really dark in front. So I'm working light to dark, back to front. Now, if I had lighter trees in front here, they would win. Remember, light to dark always wins. So that's what I want to make sure I'm working on as I get here. Now, let's see if we can do trees right away. Let's see if it doesn't ruin it. I'm going to stick with my flat brush here. And I'm going to put these trees by just dabbing a little bit on the page. So I need a little bit more water so I can get some more pigment from my brown. But I don't want it too dark. I want it to be pretty light. These are still pretty light and pretty far away. So I'm getting a light value of color. But I also need not too much water on the brush because those are pretty tiny little details back there. Maybe I can go a little bigger. Pretty tiny little edges. So if it's too wet, it's just going to blend in. So I'm going to take a little bit of that off the brush. And then let's see. It looks like those trees, they don't quite come up to the top of the mountain. Maybe just a little bit of one does. And then I'll start to put, see how it's making one big blob? That's too much on my brush. So I'm going to take some off and then start to spread that out. And I'm using the brush kind of to the side or horizontally. So, I don't want that. So I get this movement like this. Now, I don't want that like thing sticking out there, but it's okay because I have these little tiny pieces of paper towel that I can just come up and get that edge. There we go. Now looking at this, I do have to have, let's see, 1, 2 more layers of trees in front that are darker. So I might want to take even a little bit of color out of this. So I'm just going to soak up a little bit with this brush and go like so. And then I do a little tree next to it. And again, I don't care if these trees match those exactly. I'm using their placement as kind of a place to see where they go, but I'm just doing little trees off in the distance. So I'm starting at the top with the corner of the flat brush and then fading it down to this. I tend to think of, I'm basically making jagged edged triangles with these. So over here, I'm going to make this one kind of close, and that way I can come up to this edge that I made I don't love and blend it in. But the key is that I don't want too thick of a blob on top. I don't like that guy. He's gone. So I want to, and if you're doing that where you're taking it off, don't scrub, just dab. Because if you scrub, you're going to get pieces of the page up. I want to leave the edges of the tree with holes, because light comes through the edges of those trees. I don't want to see too much of them. If they look too solid, they'll look fake. So I'm letting the light of the page kind of come through there. The light of the light value behind it, I should say. There we go, just some edges. It looks like there's some more kind of over here. They do continue, don't they? So we'll put some there. Some little guys over here. So I'm not really concerned if I'm making the exact tree. I'm doing these triangles that are a little, probably thinking of making them a little thinner than they actually are, and thinking of making them holy, meaning light comes through them, because they'll blend a bit together. Looks like there's some kind of back here off in the distance too that I'll put in about this value. But the goal is to get these light guys in here first, and then following my rules, I'll start to add some more of the darker ones in front of it. So I don't want to have too much detail in here. These are in the back. I'm just going to give a hint of them off in the distance. There we go. And then I'll soften these edges in front so that they kind of blend in. I can get the next guys in. All right. Wow, those got really light. Which, hey, maybe I'll give them a little more. All right. So, oh, see, now he's getting too dark. But that's okay, because I can play with water. And that's, I'm always just thinking like how much water, how much paint, and comparing it to the other parts of the painting to see if I need more or less compared to what's there. Pull up just a little. And because I'm just making horizontal lines and triangles, soaking up a little paint there, I can leave a little space. All right. Okay, so I got that one. I got the background. I got this one. I got more trees. Now, but these trees got to be a little darker. So I'm hoping these dry. Dry, trees, dry, because I don't want them to blend in. If I weren't doing a video, I'd give them just a touch more time. But I need a little more paint, a little more water. It might be too much water. And let's see here. Let's see if this is enough. So now I'm on this group of trees, this value. So those got to be in here, and they got to be a little darker than these so they pull forward. Let's see, did I do it? Oh, not bad, not bad. Kind of see all that water though, how it's pooling? Not quite so much. Let's take a little bit of that up. Soak it up a little bit. I want it darker, but not too much darker, because I still have these darker trees and these darker trees to go in front of there. So I got too much darkness. All right, so these are these guys. Let's put another one of these in here. Now, this is my test. Is it too early? Is it too early? Is it soaking into that one? A little bit. So let's leave that one sit a little. And these sit in front. This is going to block it, but I want these to come down a little more because they'll sit in front. As things sit in front of each other, that means they come further down the page. So things that are closer to me are closer to the bottom of the page. All right, these are a little drier over here, so I think I can get some of these medium valued gas over here. There's a little bit in there. Nope. See how it's blending? I'm not getting these edges. Too soon! Too soon. I'm gonna leave it because I can fix that later. But I can start to play. Oh, wait. I'm just gonna wait. And patience. Patience is a virtue, people. Let's see. Can I do some over here? This looks like it's this value, so that's even darker. So I don't need to go that far first. Let's just see if I can get some over here. Nope. See how it's blending? Wet into wet. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. There we go. Okay, I'm pausing. I'm going to do another layer of trees just like this, and then I'm going to go back with the darker layer. All right? But right now, I got to leave it alone. All right. Step 2, done.